In a royal family riven with scandal, no one stands out more than Edward, Duke of Windsor. Having fallen in love with a twice-divorced socialite, Wallis Simpson, Edward was forced to step down as King of England, making him England's shortest reigning monarch in 500 years.
A few hours ago, I discharged my last duty as King and Emperor. I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility without the help and support of the woman I love.
Edward's abdication, renouncing the throne to marry the woman he loved, shocked the British public. But conspiracy theorists believe there was a far more sinister reason for his departure: his close connection with Nazi Germany.
Hitler saw Edward VIII as a great ally for Germany, someone who would help to keep Britain quiet as Germany rearmed and realigned its borders.
Hitler said that Edward's abdication came as a terrible shock to the Nazi regime because it pinned so many hopes on Edward.
6 months after his abdication, Edward finally married Wallis Simpson in France. The couple then went on a tour of Germany as guests of Hitler. But when war between England and Germany broke out in 1939, Prince Edward took up a post at the heart of the British military by becoming a Major General in the British Army.
His job was to inspect the French defences and report back to Britain.
But actually come up with a very good report that actually did identify the weak spots in those defences.
But some researchers believe Edward was, in fact, still close to Germany. They claim Hitler's invasion and defeat of France, just weeks after the delivery of Edward's secret report, is proof of his treachery. Even historians like Jonathan Petropoulos find it hard to explain.
For historians, that's one of the challenges, is to explain what was supposed to be a very evenly matched conflict turns into this one-sided affair. Decades after the Battle of France, scholars of military history have brought computers into play. They run these simulations, and in almost every instance, it's France and the British and the Western Allies who prevail. It's clear that the Germans attacked France in the absolutely perfect way. So the question is, how did they do this?
Many believe key information was passed from Edward to Hitler via one of Edward's closest friends, an enthusiastic French Nazi.
At the same time that Edward was inspecting the French defences, he was also reconnecting with his great friend Charles Beddoes, who'd allowed Wallis and Edward to marry in his chateau. He was a self-made Frenchman, and he was very well in with Hitler and the Nazi elite. It's been widely reported that Beddoes was feeding information about what Edward was finding on the battlefront between France and Germany, and that information was finding its way back to Hitler, enabling him to change his battle plans.